Mechanical people, you are in charge of actually putting this all together, okay? Putting all the screws together, deciding where we're going to put everything, all that stuff, okay? So first of all, you're probably going to be the one collecting all the stuff in the storeroom, okay? You're going to be given a bag like this, and inside that bag will be the Arduino and the breadboard, okay? And we'll slowly give you all the stuff that you need, okay? And so let's kind of go through each of those things so you know what they are. Okay, so first, obviously resistors, okay? And I like to use, for my class, 200 ohm resistors, okay? You're gonna need, 8 times 3, so like 24 resistors. And the next one is you're gonna need 8 LEDs. Now, you have a choice. You can do the clear ones that I used in the video, or a frosted one, okay? If you have frosted ones available, I recommend those. If you use these ones, you have to put some sort of a diffuser over them to keep the colors so that they look better. So 8 of those. You're going to need the actual breadboard, the actual Arduino, and a battery holder, and that goes right here. Okay, that's just a bent piece of metal, or we can buy them or we can make them. So something to hold the battery, and an actual battery, and the snap has to have one of these on it so it can power the Arduino. Okay, you're gonna need handle, and I drew the magnet already in there because I just reuse my handles every year. But if I need to make more, or you get a handle without a magnet, you might need to put one in there, okay? The board, the actual board itself, and you can cut these boards however you want. You can modify them however you want. We just give you this blank that's this big. Notice how I have a bunch that I didn't use right here. So if you really wanted to, you could hack that off, okay? Large screw, which would be to hold the handle on. Small screws, which hold the breadboard on. You only need 2 screws, okay? And here's a screw here and a screw here. 2 screws on each thing, okay? Be careful when you're tightening the screws on the Arduino that you don't crank it down so much that you hurt the components on the bottom of it, okay? You could screw it down so tight that it can make these get loose. So be careful about that. All right, washers. You might need a washer between the metal, the wood and the handle, and another washer up here if you want. Okay. You're gonna need wires. We have these pre-made wires like this that have a pin on one side, and on the other side it's got an opening so you can plug in the Hall effect sensor. So that's the last thing you need. So it's a Hall effect sensor. So you need 3 of these wires, and they're all hooked together. You will also need, I don't have a paper for it, but just a whole bunch of wires. Okay, you're gonna need a wire for every single LED and for every color. So 11 wires. All your other connections are gonna be made with resistors. And then these ones right here are made with these pre-made wires here. Okay, keep in mind that when you're deciding where everything goes on this board, that you need to keep them in line with each other. If you attach the Arduino so that these can come straight to it, that usually works really well. But if you want to put the Arduino on the back, which I've had some students do that, and just go around to the back, that's a possibility. You might want to talk to your wiring person about this decision and work on that together, because they have to do the wiring. So don't put things in crazy places just to make the wiring person's job hard. Let's see, what else? If you don't have screws, one thing that we've done is use wire to just tie it on until we can find more screws later. So if for some weird reason we can't find the screws or we run out of screws, that's a quick and easy option just to get things done fast. All right. I think that's about it. I'm not going to say you have to put the handle in the middle or wherever you want to put it, but one thing I would recommend is as a group of mechanical people, maybe get a board and drill a bunch of holes in it and try spinning it in different locations and see what you think. Now keep in mind that you're going to be having added weight out here. So maybe, you could also just drill a bunch of holes and try different ones even after it's been built and pick the best one. Okay. This is not hard. It shouldn't take very long, and that's why you have other jobs as a mechanical person. You're in charge of learning how to do the picture, and you're also going to be in charge of documentation. Okay, documentation isn't that much. It's basically, I want you to take pictures of everything that you do. Each day, take a picture of where you are, where the wiring person is, and it shouldn't take more than 2-3 days max. If you've done all my other lessons so far, this should be really easy, and it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway. If you have any troubles, talk to your group of experts that you all have the same job with, your co-disciplinary team. And if you guys can't figure it out, come talk to the teacher. All right. And I think that will take care of everything. As a documentation person, also, I want you to interview your teammates on your team of 3 and ask them what problems they had that day, how did they fix them. Everybody should be keeping track of that, because I want a record of problems that you had and how you solved them, because I want you to realize that as an engineer, everything doesn't work out perfect every time. Okay, things are going to go wrong, and you're going to have to fix it. Okay, and don't be afraid of that. Anyway, and I want you to realize that, so keep track of it. The more problems you can tell me that you had and how you fixed them, the better, no matter how tiny they might seem. In this section, I'm going to teach you how to make the actual image. Okay, these are all images that my students have done in the past, and so I'm just showing you these for inspiration purposes. So I'll just kind of scroll down as I'm talking about it. What I want to have happen is for every person in the group to design 2 of these. Okay, the mechanical engineer, because it's really fast to assemble the POV one, I decided to make them also the designer and in charge of teaching everybody else how to do the designs. Okay, so I want everybody to do their name and then do something else that's fun. Okay, and if you want to do more than that, that's fine, but I think everybody should have their name so they can have their name displayed, and you can take a picture of you spinning or a video with your phone and show that to friends and family. And then you can also just have a really cool image that you like. We get a lot of old Nintendo and Atari characters and stuff, which is kind of fun. Or you can just have cool patterns. Anyway, let me show you how to do it, and then you can show everybody else on your team how to do this. You need to make something really quick for your programmer so they can make a C code for a test array that will make it so that their program can actually work. So you got to do this really fast, at least one of them, and send it to your programmer, okay? And then teach everybody how to do it. Anyway, okay, so what I'm going to do is minimize this one, and you're going to go to a program called paint.net. The reason we use paint.net, it's not a website. it is a program that it's free to download, and what we like about it is you can zoom way in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make it big. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go File, New, not Open, sorry. File, New. And after you go to New, this is where you decide how big your image is. And for now, let's just, no matter what, you're going to have 8 lights. So your height is going to be 8. And the width, don't go more than 64. So I'm going to do 64 to show you what that looks like. You can go shorter, but don't go much longer, or you will make it so that your Arduino runs out of memory. Okay, so this is usually perfect. If you do upgrade your Arduino to have more than 8 lights, you can upgrade this right here too. All right, so we'll say okay, and you'll notice that it's extremely tiny, and you can't use your wheel on your mouse to zoom in unless you hold down Control on the keyboard. Okay, so Control and then zoom in, and so it's nice and big and covers most everything. Now you probably won't have the squares, so to get the squares, you see how I can toggle them on and off with this button right here. So it looks like a grid, so that's what it does. Also, the other thing you want to do is use, I think it's the pencil. Oh, hold on. Yep, the pencil does 1 pixel at a time. If you do the paintbrush, then you get a weird pixelated image. Okay, so use the pencil whenever you're drawing, but before you draw, it's a good thing to make the entire background black, because that basically it's turning off all the lights, so that only what you color becomes what's lit in the air when you're spinning your wand. All right, now, so I'm going to go to the paint bucket, and I'm going to click so that it's black. All right, then I'm going to go to the pencil and then click the color that you want. Now, if you click on these colors, it's best to stay on the outside of the color wheel, because that makes the colors really bright. If you go more inwards, then they're more or lighter colors. They go more like dim. Also way down here. So keep nice bright colors, because they show up better in the air. So pick a color that you like, and then go over black and right click. So if you see right here, it's blue for primary and black for secondary. So if you like make a mistake and you want to erase, just right click. Okay, so right click for erasing and regular click for drawing. And it works out really well. So to make something for your programmer real fast, we can just make a real quick thing like this. We can just say test and do different colors, so you can test the colors on your LEDs. Okay, so that's an E. Let's go with a yellow. S's are kind of weird. Okay, so S. Good enough. RGB, we don't have green in there yet, so let's do another T. Let's go right by it. All right, did 3, so let's keep going 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so just make something real quick and easy, call it test, and then save it. So when you save it, just go File, Save As, or Save, and give it a name. Now, when you name it, do not have any spaces, don't have any weird characters, anything like that. Just keep the name simple, okay? Don't even put any numbers in it. Just keep it just plain text for now, okay? So we can just call it test, okay? Test, and it'll be a .png. Just leave it like that and save it, and then just say okay for that. Voila, you're done, okay? Well, you got to send that to your programmer. So either on a flash drive or Google Drive. I use a program called Canvas, and you have a group Canvas page. You upload that in there, and you're good to go. Go tell your programmer where it is, and they'll have a lesson on how to convert that image to a bunch of numbers that the program will use to know what to do.